for the United States military. Trump, as you know, has run out of the interceptors, but the THAADs and the Patriots. We run out of ATACMS. Our Navy destroyer anti-ballistics are gone. And so Donald Trump's now telling the defense industry, rush, and do it, which is ultimately going to be more expensive because that's not the way you're supposed to develop weapons in a 21-day period. So we have that being leaked out as well.
And see, that's an asymmetrical warfare. No, Iran and its 90 million people and its Army and Navy now and Air Force now in shreds was never going to beat hand-to-hand combat the United States, but they didn't have to. All they had to do was continue to fire drones at Oman, Jordan, and at Kuwait, and at different American assets and bases while squeezing and closing the Strait of Hormuz. And then make the Trump side strangle the Trump economy, strangle the American taxpayer at the gas pump. Gas prices, by the way, were $3.15 this time last summer. They're now $4.01. That sounds like it's heading in the wrong direction, don't you think? And the mandate for Donald Trump to get elected was to lower gas prices. So all Iran and their calculated risk had to do was to close the Strait of Hormuz, which would lead to increased oil prices and gas prices, wreck and put on a roller coaster the American and global economy, and just wait out Donald Trump and his munitions supply.
What he talks about with Donald Trump is that if you study these authoritarians, ultimately their undoing is that they're malignant narcissists. And because they don't follow experts, because they don't study, because they think that they know everything, ultimately what you see is Trump doing exactly that. And that's why we have all of these massive failures. And so the CIA and these former CIA officers, they've created, the same way actually Iran did, and actually all intelligence agencies across the world are doing, a psychological profile of Donald Trump, his downfall, how he's a loser. And when you study his psychological behavior, you see how problematic he is. And so the bad news is that he's sadly the guy in the Oval Office now. Perhaps the good news, I guess, is that the CIA analysis is that we're seeing the downfall.
Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple.
Now, it's even worse than that because it's not just about reopening the Strait of Hormuz, because the Iranians have made it clear in their recent demands they will not do that unless they get repaid war reparations for the 100,000 or more missile strikes and bombings that have happened on Iran. So they want hundreds of billions of dollars of our money to repay them for the bombings by Trump. That's one. They want toll fees through the Strait of Hormuz. They want permanent management. I mean, it'll be like Oman, Jordan sort of running it, but Iran is going to be really controlling the Strait of Hormuz going forward, which is what they've always wanted, including the revenue stream related to it. And of course, that's a pincher that they can close in the future if Trump or some other future president doesn't live up to their deal that they're trying to extract. So they want that compensation. They want their assets unfrozen. Hundreds of billions of dollars of assets. They want their ports reopened. So when you hear Donald Trump finally announce that he's reopened the Strait of Hormuz, this is the price for having done that.